It's a smoke show over 30 years in the making. Coming up, it's really plummeted and it's going to remain cold pretty much all week long. We do have some snow squall watches and some warnings in place. This is not likely to affect the GTA necessarily, but certainly if you're traveling north, and so many thousands of people do, up toward Barrie, you're going to be running into some snowfall here, Southside Georgian Bay, up into the Owen Sound area and down toward Goderich. So in the snowbelt regions, we do have some decent snowfall, between 5 and say 15 centimeters of snow, quite likely in the squalls as they continue through tomorrow. Once we have our system come in, then the winds will shut down essentially, and then we're going to see more system snow moving through the region. And the system is coming in from northeast Ontario and swings by here. We're going to see probably in about 5 or so centimeters of snow, possibly around Toronto. That would be the high end. So certainly the drive into work on Tuesday morning could be a bit of a problem with some fresh snow on the ground and maybe a little bit of light snow falling at the time that you're driving into work, or maybe just heading out to run errands. Forecast for this afternoon, -10. So there's the cold. It remains very cold even up into Kitchener-Waterloo at -12. -12 for the evening as well. So we really don't see much of a reprieve in terms of the long-range forecast and those temperatures. It's going to remain cold. If anything, it gets colder as the days progress. Heading into, well, here's Wednesday. That's the first day of January. Second day of January, -13 with a wind chill in the -20s. You see a little bit more sunshine here for Friday, and then the temperatures moderate a little bit, but there is some indication from our meteorologists that looking into some very long-term model forecasting that we could be looking at some much, much colder air by the time we get into next week across the GTA. In their downtown cores and in Waterloo, obviously a lot of people are out taking advantage of it. And why not? Because the conditions actually this weekend weren't all that bad. But now we're dealing with some cold. And with that wind over the waters of the Great Lakes, we have some snow squall watches and warnings in place. So this is what it looks like right now. Keep in mind that for the GTA, I'm not expecting much snowfall, but it doesn't take long. You head about an hour and a half north, and you're going to be running into some snowfall. The amounts here will be between 5 and 15 centimeters of snow. Locally, it could go a little bit higher, depending on the squalls that come through. Let's go to Kevin Yard, who is in Wasaga Beach, and find out what the conditions are like there. Thank you so much, Kevin. Some great advice, of course, and have that brush handy because you're definitely going to be needing it. So we do have cold temperatures in place. There is lake effect, as we've mentioned. However, a system is coming through, and with that system, there's going to be about 5 centimeters of snow coming through. That will mean that on Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning, around the GTA, there could be some fresh snow on the ground. That could slow the drive in. If you are still heading to work, a lot of people are still working, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday of this week. So we may be running into some snowfall and some slower commuting. Down through the south and west, another swath of snow coming through the Windsor area by Wednesday, late day. So a couple of systems coming through the Great Lakes. The forecast for this afternoon, it's cold, -9 in Toronto, -12 for Kitchener-Waterloo. We're just looking at that video from the skating. This evening, the temperature doesn't change much. It still stays cold. And the long-range forecast, this is showing us a week snapshot, but there's some indication that beyond this 7-day, say we look at the 14-day trend, which you can see on your digital properties, you're going to be seeing a trend probably toward much, much colder than even this. As we head into next week, there's some indication from some models that we may be looking at temperatures in the high teens, -20s, in fact. But for Toronto now, -7 for Tuesday, I should say, and then a little bit more snowfall for Wednesday. For Thursday, temperatures still cold. We're down into the teens and the 20s in terms of wind chill factors. So it's definitely a cold one. The sun does come out by the end of the work week. In Hamilton, -8 for Tuesday. Wednesday, a -9 reading with a wind chill of -13.